Welcome to the WhamTech REST API JSON output demo. The following video demonstrates how to build a WhamTech Smart Data Fabric federated data source adapter, called an EIQ adapter, for a REST API returning JSON result messages. First, let's look at the REST API used in the demo. Through Swagger UI, we can view the API used to return credit card transaction data in JSON format. In the request body, we filter the data by specifying a date range. A search call returns a list of transactions based on our specified filter. Then, a subsequent call returns self-links for each of the transactions returned by the search call. Now that we've checked the REST API, we can begin configuring the EIQ adapter for the REST API data source. We will start by setting up the ODBC connection. We need to use the Microsoft Access text driver to point to a CSV file where our JSON data is located. This data source starts with 100 records. Once the ODBC connection has been created, we can build an EIQ index on the JSON data using the predefined schema. We've opened an existing RTI map for this demonstration. See the video description below for help creating an index for the first time. Make sure to add all of the necessary tables and columns to the indexing pane and apply all of the necessary transformations. Then build the index, selecting the full build option when prompted. After the index build is completed, continue to configure the EIQ adapter per the usual procedure. If you haven't configured an adapter before, see the video description for help. Next, we will query the adapter to verify the initial data has been indexed. Log into the EIQ Server Query tool and connect to the VDS created for the JSON data. We will execute a count query to get the number of transaction records in the source. Now we will configure tasks to update the index in near real time. Open the EIQ Update Configuration tool and create a task that monitors the VDS, then create a task item. Enter a name for the task item, select the appropriate data source alias, and then select REST API as the task item type. In the next window, enter the authentication credentials and select the REST API configuration file. Make sure that the configuration file maps the JSON response field values to columns in the EIQ index for each table and provides the search request content for the API call, including URL, filters, headers, and etc. Then specify a starting timestamp. EIQ read, transform, and index server, called artist, will begin polling for updates that occur after this date. Using the EIQ diagnostics tool, we can watch the action logs of EIQ artist while it inserts and updates the data. Every action we take in the EIQ update configuration tool will send information to the diagnostics. Start the task item to begin fetching inserts and updates. Once the inserts and updates have been fetched, we can verify that the changes were applied to the EIQ index. The second to last line of diagnostics show that the task is completed. We can scroll up to see the logs of each record that was inserted into the index. The last insert message shows that 296 records were inserted successfully. Open the EIQ server query tool again and re-execute the query to see if the inserts worked. The transaction number has increased from 100 to 396, showing that all 296 records were successfully inserted. Thanks for watching. Remember, for additional information on how to use some of the EIQ tools not fully demonstrated in this video, check out the description below.